Hello, welcome to the Glass Tower Top 5. It's the week of November 21st, 2018. I'm Rainey Knudson.
I'm Christina Rees.
This week, for a special edition of the Glass Tower Top 5, we're counting down our top 5 favorite museum restaurants in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We eat.
We do.
You eat.
Mm-hmm.
We go to museums. You hopefully go to museums. And there's some really good places where you can eat when you need a little break from your art viewing. And almost always, when you go to a museum restaurant, they're not going to make you buy a ticket to get into the museum. So you can go to the restaurant regardless,
Right.
Almost always.
Yep.
The ones on our list are, I would say, there's a range of food quality, but they're all good spaces, comfortable, pleasant, nice, chic spaces to be in.
They're easy places to eat lunch, basically. That's the point.
So number 5 on our list is the Blanden Cafe at the Blanden Museum of Art in Austin, Texas, on the University of Texas campus. I actually just ate there with Brandon Zeck, our news editor, recently, and this would probably not have been on my list except this meal that I just had there. I think they've changed their menu up. The space itself is not my favorite. It's pretty bare bones. It's pretty cafeteria style. It does not feel as a space awesome, I'll say that. But I had a great meal. I had a prosciutto flatbread. The guy behind the counter made it for me special, and they have a really good menu, interesting selections, and they have good coffee there too, which I have to add that. So I like what they're serving there.
Yeah, the restaurant, this kind of canteen type place is actually across the walkway. You can sit outside. The only times I've been there, I've had coffee or a latte, so I'm glad to hear that the food is good. So number 4 on our list is in San Antonio. It's the San Antonio Museum of Art's restaurant. It's called Trey Tratoria, which is not easy to say 5 times fast. It's it's sort of ace in the hole is the fact that it's on the Riverwalk.
Yeah, in an old building, there's a beautiful brick courtyard out there. I mean, this is what San Antonio has going for it is, by Texas standards, it's old and historical, and this is in an old historical building in San Antonio. The Salmon Museum was a brewery, and this is just a very charming, it is a cantina style, like you go up, you order. Last time I ate there, the menu was very good. It was charming, very charming. And I liked it a lot. It's a really nice place to take a little break in San Antonio.
It would be a good way for me to kind of get back in touch with the whole river thing because I have stopped associating San Antonio with the Riverwalk years ago because I just associate it with museums and galleries at this point. So to be sort of reminded that there's a river and it's a big people-pleasing, pleasant thing is not a bad deal.
Number 3 is the Beastro Menil at the Menil Collection. So this restaurant, when they first opened it, famously to people who went, had horrendous noise issues, but they've put in they put in floor covering and ceiling covering and dealt with just the deafening acoustical situation in there. I think the Beastro Menil wants to be a really great restaurant. It's not quite a really great restaurant, but it's a good restaurant. You can get a good salad there. They have a good wine list. Good quiche, there's things you can eat there, and it's nice to be able to go somewhere close to the Menil.
So I'm glad to hear they dealt with the acoustic problems, because once upon a time that was woo! Also, just going to meet somebody in the bar is very easy there. It's like...
It's easy, there's a little bit of outdoor seating there. The eggplant fries are...
Oh, yeah.
With the fancy mayonnaise that starts with an A.
Aioli.
Can we just call it mayonnaise?
Number 2 on our list is the Nasher Cafe. It's called officially the Nasher Cafe by Wolfgang Puck, which kind of immediately lets you know that it's not going to be just your most spectacular meal in the world. It is good. It's really solid. I think the menu is excellent for lunch, and the setting is really nice, and it's an easy place to go and meet people. And it is the kind of place where I will go to meet somebody even if I'm not taking advantage of the rest of the museum. And you've got these great big plate glass windows that look out onto the beautiful Nasher Garden.
It's a very, very pleasant place to sit and visit with somebody. It's a little loud, but in some ways it's not deafeningly loud, and you can have a conversation that's off the record if you need to, without it like everybody hearing what you're saying. Aside from that, excellent soups, excellent chicken curry salad. I almost always order that, and the potato chips are homemade and excellent too. And number 1 on our list, this is my favorite museum restaurant in all of Texas, and has been since the day it opened back in 2003, whenever it was, is the Cafe Modern at the Fort Worth Modern Museum of Art. This is the single best thing about the Tadeo Ando building is this water feature, 5-inch deep lake thing that they have with the view of those, wide strut steel girders, and the building is so stunning. And you look out over the water and you can sit right there on the water. And the food is really, really good. They change it out seasonally. There's always a menu every time I go. The bread is great. The tea is great. I love this. I love restaurant. Yeah,
service is really good too. The bar part of the restaurant is a very common sort of watering hole, meeting ground for people in the hour or so before the Tuesday evening lectures start. You can just go there and run into everybody. That's fun.
And I think this is the only of any of these restaurants that's actually located in the museum that has a full bar. I think Beastro Menil has a full bar, but it's sort of off-site a little bit, whereas this one, you are in the museum having a cocktail if you need to.
So one of the reasons we did this list this week is because it's Thanksgiving week and we're thinking about food and we're thinking about meals and we're thinking about taking people somewhere if they're in from out of town.
Go see some art, go eat some food.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving!